me now invite Mr. Abdullah Al-Andalusi.
Thank you for inviting me. Thank you all for attending this very interesting debate. My usual role in debates is not rhetoric or tactics or ad hominems, but more of a glorified fact checker, like GPT in human form, except not as knowledgeable or as quick. And no, I won't be doing your homework for you as part of your authentic essay after this event. I'd like perhaps to really comment on all the things we've heard from the proposition and maybe give you some, fact checking. As for Khalid Hassan, I think the best response, his sources for his many claims seem to be, trust me, bro. And so I think I'll just move ahead. I just want to skip that. Although there was some point he mentioned, he says he's a Jewish convert. I hope he doesn't get treated like David ben Avraham, an Arab who converted to Judaism, but he wasn't believed. His Judaism wasn't believed. He was shot at the checkpoint. So, oh well. I hope that doesn't happen to you by an ideal soldier. UNRWA is a terrorist organization because out of 33,000 people, about 10 people were deemed to be associated with Hamas. Let's just ban the NHS for Lucy Letby as well, right? Be consistent. Now, I think, here's the issue, right? I think the greatest obstacle for peace in Ukraine is the Ukrainian government, the Ukrainian leadership. Russia has made repeated peace proposals, all refused by the Ukrainian government. Right? Do you know why? Because the Ukrainian government, they're just anti-Russians. And that's what Putin says, actually. Sound familiar? It should do, because that's pretty much their entire narrative today. And it's just as ridiculous. You might as well just say that the biggest obstacle for, 200 years ago, the biggest obstacle for the abolition of slavery is the black slaves. Or you could say the biggest obstacle for the abolition of apartheid is the black South Africans and their leadership. If only the ANC would eschew violence, you wouldn't have the bloody suppressions that the South African government would exact upon the South Africans. And of course you could say, well, the South African apartheid government, it has offered independent states to all the South African black citizens. They're not called citizens of South Africa, they're just considered to be citizens, but they're separate independent zones called Bantustans. Right? And of course, no one recognized these fake statelets, if you want to call it this, that didn't really have self-determination. Oh, except one country, Israel, of course, because birds of a feather flock together. Now, here's the point. The UN has settled this matter. It has been settled. For UN Resolution 242, Israel is to remove itself from all those countries, all those areas it occupied in 1967, which in a war it initiated, by the way. And of course, all the Palestinian refugees who were citizens of the Mandate of Palestine to be returned back to where they came in Palestine. Resolution 194. Guess who opposes that? Israel. Right. And of course, it talks about peace deals and peace. Did you know the Arab League and the Organization of Islamic Conference all got together in 2002 and from two instances since, and they all said, here's a deal to Israel. We will not only have a peace deal with Israel, we will have normalization. And that includes Iran in that. Right? It was unanimous. The Palestinian Authority also agreed, formerly PLO and so on and so forth. They agreed. By the way, they recognized Israel's right to exist, quote unquote, in 1993. And they gave up violence. But that's not good enough, of course. What did Israel do? What did Israel do in response to the Arab Peace Initiative of 2002, which is just honor international law, please, and we'll have peace normalization? They said, no. We want that land. We're not going to give up that land. Even the UN partition, which they talk about in 1947, which is say, the Zionists agreed to it and not the Arab Palestinians. The Arab Palestinians never responded with violence, by the way, to that. They responded with a peaceful 3-day strike. And of course, the Zionists responded with striking peaceful Arab villages. In November, there was no Arab armies coming, no Arab armies even threatening to come at that point in time. But the ethnic cleansing started in late 1947. So what is then the issue here? What is the situation here? Ben-Gurion himself admitted in a executive meeting of the Jewish Agency, that was the precursor to the Israeli government, he said that he supports the establishment of a Jewish state on a part of Palestine because it will form the basis for them to take over the rest of Palestine. So first they'll just agree to that, and then they'll take over the rest of it. They had no intention of honouring any Arab partition, and they have no intention of leading people to have their own fully independent and fully self-determined existence in the land of Palestine, unless it is their ethnic group that they prefer. And this is really the issue. Israel doesn't really desire peace with people as much as it desires a piece of their land. And that is the fundamental stumbling block to peace. Peace can happen tomorrow, today, could happen even yesterday. All Israel has to do is honour the international commitments, international law, and the entire Middle East will normalise relations with the State of Israel as they offered. Heck, even in 1947, or early 1948, before there was the intervention of the Arab armies who were actually coming to rescue the Palestinians who were streaming out of Palestine, so you tell them not to stream out, but stay there. You're blocking up the roads, you're coming in, you're basically causing a humanitarian catastrophe, and you're conceding land to the Zionist forces. They even made an offer. They said to the Zionist agency, Arab League official communication to the United Nations, they said, look, why not just have a unitary state? Everyone has equal rights. And there will be express protections for minority rights in this equal democratic state. Do you know who turned that down? Do you know who turns down democracy and equality? The Zionists. Why? Why did the Jewish agency reject it? Because you can't have an ethno-nationalist state when you are only 1/3 of the population. And that is the fundamental crux of this entire debate. It's about demographics. The foreign minister, Abba Eban, 1973, when he was in an article where he was trying to tell people we must convince people that anyone who criticizes Zionism is an anti-Semite. He also said, and he said it's because we're denying Jewish self-determination, he also said in that exact same article, oh, but Arabs don't deserve 100% self-determination. And that's the issue. That's the thing. Please point out where I'm wrong. I will cite you the article. I have it on my laptop there. I can show it to you. Unlike your colleague Khalid Hassan, I haven't quoted anything by anyone concerning what I've said and concerning some of his experiences. He claims. All right. So this is the issue, and really, I want to kind of stress to you all that all the offers that have been made to the Palestinians, the Palestinian National Authority has made proposals to Israel. They've all been rejected. And it's not even their land. Greedy Palestinians, that they should want 100% of the 22% remaining of their homeland. Oh, how greedy of them. This is what they want to make you portray. Guys, don't let them insult our intelligence, please. Vote for your conscience and vote for equality, rights and dignity for all human beings. Thank you.